Good day, beautiful people. Looks like it's all a big hot mess right now. This month's top story: Social Security benefits lose 40% of buying power. Soaring inflation has caused Social Security benefits to lose 40% of their buying power since the year 2000, according to the latest update of an ongoing study by TSCL. Purchasing power plummeted by 10 full percent points in just the past year, from March of 2021 to March 2022. The largest such drop since TSCL began the study in 2010. HHS Office of Inspector General says Medicare Advantage plans often deny medically necessary care. This is true, or they cut it short and you still need a couple more weeks, but they claim that Medicare won't pay for it, so therefore you don't get the service. Every year, tens of thousands of Medicare beneficiaries who are enrolled in private Medicare Advantage health plans are denied medically necessary care that otherwise would have been covered by traditional fee-for-service Medicare. The denials are for services and treatments that should be covered by their plan, according to a new report from the Office of Inspector General, OIG, of the Department of Health and Human Service. I'll tell you something, it's a terrible experience when you are in a medical need and you can't get the services that you need. You can't get the type of health care to get you back to where you were. That is such a horrible experience to have gone through. And it's horrible to know that others have experienced the same thing. However, here, the last part of this email is, can inflation be a good thing if it means a high Social Security COLA? And I'm going to go ahead and answer this before I even read it. Because Social Security has been behind when it comes to increases, even if you get, just say, a little bit of an increase, it's still not enough of an increase, because it's been generations since COLA has increased to the point of the current market. So whatever that we get, of course, you're grateful for, but it would have to be in the thousands, not in that small percentage, like how they calculate to give you the increase. They would have to totally change that structure and try to get you up to market value, which I don't foresee that happening in the future. But there has to be some type of way, instead of building the housing for the homeless, I think they should build the housing for the elderly and the disabled, because you know for sure that those rooms or hotels or whatever it is that you're building will be fulfilled. That you don't have to go out and chase them out in the street or get the police to chase them down to make them take the housing. This housing will be already assigned and ready to go, because there are plenty of elderly people who just cannot afford regular rent. And as the market changes and their money stays the same, or if it is increased, it's still not enough to cover what current rent prices are. Trust me, there are enough elderly and disabled or retired people that will fulfill a type of housing that's set aside just for the elderly and disabled and those who are on Social Security. So I think for California, that would be a great way to kind of take some of these wonderful ideas that they have for the homeless and actually give them to people who are ready to move into the housing. You don't have to worry about, having the police harass them. You don't have to worry about saying that this area is a non-drug use or what have you. You already have your tenants that will be living in those spaces that are set aside, built for the homeless. So instead of homeless that quite often are from out of state, you're going to actually be housing your elderly and disabled and retirees right here in California, people who have worked hard all their life, and unfortunately their pay was so low that even when there was time to retire, they just simply did not have enough to take care of themselves in their golden years. So that I truly believe that I answered that question. I could be wrong, but let me know. Can inflation be a good thing if it means a high Social Security COLA? So is inflation ever a good thing if it means getting a high cost of living adjustment COLA? The person asking me that question could be forgiven since that young adult had never experienced inflation this high in their lifetime. And of course, this is from the newsletter. This is not my writing. I regularly am consulted by younger journalists who are unfamiliar with Social Security benefits and help them develop their media stories. I think that's wonderful that you do that. So this is the current Senior Citizens League advisor. So this is for the July 2022. And I do this for myself because I was in a pedestrian accident, did not receive payment. So I try to read. I still try to be active, to keep myself active and so forth. And I enjoy reading this. I enjoy trying to at least put the information out there. Not everyone can afford to, pay $12 or even donate because they're just barely surviving. So if someone somehow gets free Wi-Fi and they're able to come across my page and hear this or read this or to know about it just from something that I put up, that's satisfying to me. I love doing this, so I hope that it's helpful and useful for someone. So today is Wednesday, July 13th. I am reading this at 2:42 p.m. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm always looking for those great deals and great values at our favorite 99 stores and the discount stores and locations that I can find. Now, I have to be honest with you, a lot of that stuff is going quick. So if you hear about it, see about it, get it. Even if it's not your top choice, but it's something that you're okay with eating, you want to have a little something on the side, regardless if it's your favorite thing to eat or not, because you don't know what the future's going to hold. You don't want to have too much junk in the house, but just something to hold you over until things are sorted out. So if that means having a big old bag of rice and some beans that you can soak overnight and then cook them, then do so you have something to eat until things are sorted out. So I hope that everyone is doing well. I wish you all well, and we'll chat with you a little bit later. Take care.